Hey Civ fans, Yusuf Kaiser here. Today we'll be taking a look at the theater square, the entertainment complex, and the water park because they're all sort of interrelated as they all help you provide culture and tourism. So let's jump right into it. Looking at the adjacency bonuses, the entertainment complex and the water park do not have any adjacency bonuses, but the theater square does get adjacency bonuses from the entertainment complex and water park. In fact, they get a major adjacency bonus. And theater square also gets major adjacency bonus from adjacent wonders, and if you have any Pamukkale wonder tiles nearby. Theater square gets no standard bonus, but it does get a minor 0.5 minor bonus for adjacent districts. Now let's just take a look at what the maximum adjacency bonus a theater square could have, and it's plus 12 culture. If you have, 2 Pamukkale tiles and it's surrounded by wonders, and maybe you have a entertainment complex or a water park there. But this is a bit unrealistic, so let's take a look at the more realistic scenario. Here I have just a theater square with a couple wonders around, one entertainment complex, maybe adjacent district, so you're looking at maybe 6.5 in terms of your culture. I think this is a bit more doable for most of your games. So definitely you could reach this no problem. So now onto the base effects of the districts. Starting with the theater square gives you +1 great writer, great artist, and great musician points per turn. And specialists provide +2 culture. And it gives you +1 appeal to nearby tiles. So I guess it could be helpful for putting down national parks. Looking at the entertainment complex, it gives you +1 amenity from entertainment for the city and +1 appeal to nearby tiles. It cannot be placed if you already have a water park. And the water park is exactly the same in terms of its base effects to the entertainment complex, and it cannot be placed if you already have an entertainment complex. Now onto the tier 1 buildings. Starting with the theater square, we have the Amphitheater, which gives you +2 culture, +1 citizen slot, +1 great writer points per turn, and +2 great work of writing slots. Now looking at the tier 1 buildings for entertainment complex and the water park, they start to differ now. Looking at the arena for the entertainment complex, it gives you +2 amenities from entertainment for the city, and +1 culture, and then +1 tourism with conservation. Now the Ferris wheel for the water park does give you +2 amenities just like the arena, but it gives you a little more culture, gives you +3 culture and +2 tourism. Now onto the tier 2 buildings, just looking at the theater square for a moment. We're looking at the Art Museum and the Archaeological Museum. So the Art Museum gives you +2 culture, +1 citizen slot, +1 great writer points per turn, and +2 great artist points per turn. And then it also gives you +3 great work of art slots, which can be a landscape painting, a portrait painting, a religious painting, or a sculpture. You get double tourism for great works of art of the same type. So those 4 types I mentioned, if you have that same type, but of different artists, then you'll get a theming bonus. Now the Archaeological Museum is very similar in terms of its effects, except for that you get +3 great artifact slots instead of great work of art slots. And you get double tourism for having artifacts of the same era, but from different civilizations. It allows the training of archaeologists if you do not have your slots filled. Now, I guess this is a big question for a lot of people, is so which one is better? Should I go for the Art Museum or the Archaeological Museum? Which one is really better for me? Well, for me, the great artists, you know what you're going to get from a great artist. If you hover over the great artist in the panel, you can see what it's going to give you even before you purchase it or obtain it. So it's easier to know whether you should use them or not, because you already are building up your great works of art and stuff like that. I would suggest taking a look at all the different great artists and seeing which sort of types of things that they can produce, and seeing what is most prevalent, and using maybe that as a guide. I did do a video on it, so maybe go check that out. And the thing about the great artists, you may need to wait for the right artist to be available. That's the thing, because if you are waiting for that landscape artist, but there's just a artist who's doing religious and sculpture stuff, then you're kind of out of luck there. Now for the artifacts, I find you never know exactly what you're going to get or from what era, unless you're being very meticulous about, plotting out where all the battles are happening, because I think that's where it's decided how these sort of relics, or not relics, but these artifacts are being placed. It's based on what happened in previous eras and stuff like that. So unless you're very meticulous about it, and I never know, it's very hard to know what you're going to get. So in that sense, you may need to also send archaeologists far away to get artifacts of different civilizations, because that was the key thing for getting the theming bonus. And overall, I think getting artifacts is better if you're having trouble getting great artists. Like if you're struggling against some other civilization that's stealing all the great artists, then you can just move on to getting archaeological museums, because that is pretty simple to get, and you don't need to compete for archaeologists. Now onto the tier 2 buildings for the entertainment complex and the water park. On the left we have the zoo here for the entertainment complex, and that gives you +1 amenity from entertainment to all city centers within 6 tiles of the zoo. And then +1 science for each rainforest and marsh in the city. And then on the right here we have the aquarium for the water park. It gives you +1 amenity from entertainment to all city centers within 9 tiles of the aquarium. But multiple aquariums do not stack. So aquariums send their amenities a little further than the zoo do. Or zoo do? That sounds weird. Anyways, and it gives you +1 science for each coastal resource, shipwreck, and reef in that city. So if you see a shipwreck and you don't really need that artifact, maybe just leave it. You get a little more science. Now onto the tier 3 buildings. For Theater Square, we have the Broadcast Center, which gives you tons of culture, so it gives you +2 culture, +4 culture when powered at the cost of 3 power, and then +1 citizen slot, and then +1 great artist points per turn, and then +2 great musician points per turn, and +1 great work of music slots. And for the entertainment complex, we have the stadium, and that gives you +1 amenity from entertainment to all city centers within 6 tiles of the stadium, and +2 amenities if powered at the cost of 2 power. It gives you +2 tourism if the population is over 10, and then +5 tourism if your population gets to over 20. For the Aquatic Center, it gives you +1 amenity from entertainment to all city centers within 9 tiles. So again, similar to aquarium and zoo, and the Aquatic Center gives you, spreads it a little further than the stadium does. Gives you 9, spreads it over 9 tiles, and then gives +2 amenities if powered at the cost of 2 power, and then +2 tourism for each wonder in the city on a coastal land or water tile. So like the Opera House, Sydney Opera House there. So in summary, the Theater Square is very important for your culture victory. I find the art museum a little more predictable if you accumulate a lot of artist points, and Archaeological Museum is less predictable, but it's better if you are not going to get a lot of those artist points and you're struggling to get those artists. The entertainment complex is good for getting more amenities and improving the culture of those theater squares, and it's better for continental cities with a lot of land to spare. And then the water park is good for getting more amenities and improving culture. And the amenities are sent just a little further than the entertainment complex. And the water park is much better for coastal or island cities that are struggling with, they don't have a lot of land, so you can put these on the water there. And that's it for this video. Please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.